Welcome back to DIVEBOMB IndyCar podcast, and you may notice I have a default background. We're late to this week's episode, so clearly elephant in the room, there are some circumstances this week who are a little bit different. So I'm actually in America this week. I'm in the home of IndyCar this week, we'll say that. I'm in the home of IndyCar, and yeah, that's why I'm 5 hours behind what I usually would be, making recording times difficult to organise, hence why we are a little bit later, and I'm in a very small hotel room, so that's why you get a lovely background, which is definitely the room I'm in. So can we also appreciate, by the way, IndyCar merchandise? We can't see it very well, repping the Suck Up IndyCar race weekend. So there's a massive design in the back which I won't bother showing you, but second week in a row I'm repping IndyCar merch, so I think that's pretty impressive.
Yeah, good stuff. It was a bit of a scheduling headache, but we could not break our probably more than 2.5 year streak now of having an episode every week. So, yeah, here we are, even with some odd timings and a slightly late episode. It was always going to happen.
Yes. This is probably the most dangerous I've ever been in. So, blessed relief that we've got it sorted in time. And I can't remember what else I was going to say. Something clearly not important, but yeah, good job we got it sorted, because we're not giving up that streak anytime soon. But we got one small bit of news which we're going to go into shortly. One thing we kind of do every year is what's called the Trivia Challenge, which is just a little one-on-one challenge, just kind of reflecting on the year. And this is, as we said last week, we're actually now closer to St. Pete 2026 than we are Nashville 2025, which still feels pretty unbelievable, to be completely honest. So this episode also gives myself an Archie. So this episode also gives me and Archie one final chance to really reflect on 2025. As we said last week, we're actually now closer to St. Pete 2026 than we are to Nashville 2025, which still feels absolutely unbelievable in my mind. So anyway, that's great news. So this gives us our last chance to reflect. We'll go race by race as we do the Trivia Challenge, which gives us a great chance to do it. So that's going to be cool. But as we said, we've got one small bit of news, which is actually related to Formula One, in the fact they have changed their super license system to give a higher scheme, effectively, to IndyCar drivers and more points towards an FIA super license. Now, as I'm sure what many of you know, the super license was the main restriction holding Colton Herta back from Formula One. Obviously, he had that little flirt of Alfa Romeo a couple of years ago. Then he was very close to joining Alfa Tauri 2 years ago. And obviously, with this Cadillac situation, again, I don't think he would have gone straight in there anyway, but he's been denied that opportunity definitively by the fact he's got no super license. So previously the champion received 40, and then it'd go down to 30, 20, 10, 8, 6, 4, 3, 2, 1. So it's quite a dramatic drop off, especially when we compared it to other series like Formula 3 and Formula Regional Series, which were giving a comparative amount of points for drivers sort of in the 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th bracket, against full-time professionals who are some of the best in their field. Like, you look at Colton Herta was coming 9th and 10th some seasons, and he was then the same amount of points as somebody 7th in Formula 3, just because the weighting of the point system was so poor. And it's been a long problem for a very, very long time. Even people like Pato Ward, took him a really long time to get a super license, and there's only a very, very select group of IndyCar drivers who have a super license currently, really limiting pathways for IndyCar drivers should they want to reach Formula One. Now, I know it's not a particularly common theme, but it's becoming more discussed with Herta, especially. We've obviously had below discussions about him and Cadillac and Williams and a lot of the twins. Red Bull was that brief rumour. And then we've obviously, Pato Ward as McLaren's reserve driver. Again, he needs a super license to undertake that role. So they've changed between 3rd and 9th in the points. So the champion still receives 40, second place still receives 30. However, third place has now had theirs increased to 25. Fourth place has actually doubled, as it's gone from 10 to 20. Fifth has gone from 8 to 15 points. Sixth has gone from 6 to 10 points. Seventh has gone from 4 to 8 points. Eighth has gone from 3 to 6 points, and ninth has gone 2 to 3 points. Now, I'm sure as you'll agree with me, I still don't think that's exactly the right rating of the system. However, it's obviously a step in a direction. That's what we're really looking for at the minute. Like, it would be quite a turnaround for the FIA to go, okay, all the top 5 get 40, which I think in both our minds is what should really be the case. But it's good to see they've made some improvements. We're working on a pathway to make the road to Formula One easier for IndyCar drivers, like it rightly should be.
It's about time, really, in my opinion, that IndyCar got that extra recognition. I think it's farcical, really, that IndyCar as a full-time, top-tier professional racing series has been, weighted below essentially juniors. You know, compared to F2, the weighting is, I mean, let's be frank, it's nonsense. And the fact that IndyCar is placed on a par with, I don't want to say amateur drivers because that's not right, but juniors who are still at the very kind of early stages of their career, whereas these are established drivers, and for some reason they're being barred from the pathway. And yes, it's a step in the right direction, but also the fact that change is only kind of from third down, and the only noticeable, you know, it's kind of, yeah, it's rewarding the lower end, let's say, rather than, you know, I would have liked to have seen a, you know, more size or a sizable increase really for the top positions in terms of the weighting. But yeah, it's something, but yeah, better than nothing. But I think there's still some way to go, but at least there's been some sort of change. I think the interesting thing here is the fact that if the calculations that I've seen going around are correct, I think Herta would have been 1 point off achieving a super license, which, I mean, that could have negated having to do this entire F2 season, because he'd been able to achieve it by literally doing one practice session. In F1, I think it's, I don't know, 100 kilometers that they have to complete or something. So, yeah, that's unfortunate. I guess, you know, going back to what we spoke about at the time with Herta, it's almost like a schooling year for him as well, a bit of an education. It's not simply just the super license factor, getting to know the tracks, the tires, etc. But yeah, at least it's something. Let's just put it that way.
Making progress, certainly making progress. Now, otherwise, there isn't really much IndyCar news going on at the minute. Pato awarded an FP1 last week for McLaren in place of Oscar Piastri. Nothing really to report there. We've seen some more announcements towards 24 Hours of Daytona. Kiffin Simpson was announced with Tower Motorsports down at P2. We've got Christian Rasmussen, Alex Palou, and Scott Dixon also in that race, amongst others. But we're now getting really to the kind of, well, we're in the middle of the off season now, hence you don't really get much reports or much news coming out because it's just that quiet period. We're really now waiting on Dale Coyne to announce his driver. I mean, was it Halloween, Thanksgiving, there's going to be Christmas next, and then they become New Year, and then they become Content Day, and then it will be, oh yeah, no, we'll announce them at St. Pete.
Yeah, I don't know what's gone on there, but yeah, it was Halloween, Thanksgiving, and I don't think we've even heard anything since it wasn't Thanksgiving, to be honest.
Christmas is the next target, and then when it comes to Christmas, we'll change the targets again. But yeah, the mystery of Dale Coyne, his second driver, continues. But anyway, let's do the trivia challenge. So what we're going to do is we're going to each take a race by race and guess both the top five and the lap leaders from that race. I know it's slightly different to how we've done it in previous years, but hey ho, it's what you're going to. I know sometimes this isn't the most enjoyable listening experience, but have a play along at home, see how you get along, where your guess is the same as ours, where you're thinking the same as ours, and that's exactly what we're going for. So what I'll do you want me to load up the St. Pete results, and then you can guess both the top five and the lap leaders.
Let's do it.
Spreadsheet. Archie, are you ready? Should we start with the top five?
Yes. So it's Palou, Dixon, Newgarden, McLaughlin.
Nice, good start.
And this is where it gets really hard. I think it was Ericsson.
Ericsson was sick. Kirkwood was.
Damn it.
Lap leaders, there were 7 of them in this race.
7? Wow, okay. Obviously Palou.
Yes.
McLaughlin.
Yes.
Dixon.
Yes.
Do I get wiped out if I get one wrong? Do I have a system out of lives? How are we doing this?
I say you go until you get one wrong, is the rule.
Okay. Cool. Let's do that. Okay, they're the easy ones. Lundgaard.
Lundgaard, yes. Yep.
Yeah, because Lundgaard was off strategy. So there's 3 more, right?
Yes.
I'll just
These are the 3 who led the 3 fewest.
I'll take a punt at Newgarden, maybe led one.
Yep, Newgarden led 2.
Okay. There was someone else on the Lundgaard strategy. I don't quite remember who it was. I know O'Ward had a shocker. I'd just go for Kirkwood because he rounded out the top 5.
Unfortunately not. It was Marcus Armstrong who led 3 laps, and Colton Herta led a singular lap.
Okay. Okay, so I mean, this is going to be weird trying to actually tally it up because there's going to be some races where there were like 3 lap leaders. But
it'll average itself out, right? So that's 4 for top 5 and then 5 for lap leaders. So you're off to 9. St. Petersburg was a long wait. Is the third thing I've done. It's good to get cars back on track, but This was the start of the season where it kind of went quite slow. You had that big crash at the start, remember? We thought at the time, Will Power's Penske career, every race matters, and it's falling apart. Andretti started the year pretty well. McLaughlin got absolutely hosed on the primary strategy, which led to Palou, Dixon, and Lundgaard were having great success. And obviously, I think the thing I remember most of that race is Dixon's radio stopped him from winning the race because he couldn't make the call to pit. And if he had stayed out, I think it was a lap less than Palou, he would have won the race because Palou got him in the pit stop cycle. So yeah, that would have stopped Palou's dominant start to the season if Dixon's radio was working.
Yeah, so I think my overriding memory, because we'll do this for every race, we'll give however random it may be, what our overriding memory of each race is. I think mine, to be fair, is the crash at the start, just with it being obviously the start of Penske's disastrous year, kind of screwed McLaughlin's strategy as well. So denied a probable race win for McLaughlin having started on pole, and then obviously Power, pretty disastrous start. So yeah, that's what I remember most from that weekend. Top 5 at Thermal, Dan.
So there's Palou, Ward, and Lundgaard.
Yep.
4th was Herta because then he got docked 25 points for a slightly sketchy car.
Yeah.
And then I think 5th was Rosenqvist, I think.
It was well remembered. I wouldn't have got that, I don't think.
Nice.
So good effort. Lap leaders, there were 3. Was this not the one last year where there was comically few?
Well, do you remember for this where we did on our preseason predictions, the driver who led the 4th most laps at Thermal, he got ruined because
that
we
was
only had 3 drivers lead laps.
Yeah.
I mean, O'Ward and Palou were 2 of them, and the other one I think was Rossi.
Well done. You had 1 lap, so that is a good call.
Or I just remember it from that statistic we had to do. So that's how I remembered it because of that stupid challenge we did at the start of the year.
Yeah, O'Ward led 51, Palou led 13, and Rossi led 1. Overriding memory from that weekend absolutely was the blackout where we missed a not insignificant portion of that kind of mid portion of the race. Not that I think there was much going on. But also one track, there was that pretty nice battle between Lundgaard and Palou.
Yeah.
Lasted about a lap or so.
Yeah, I think I kind of remember from the race just thinking I don't want to go here again. It was a nice experiment, but it didn't work as a championship race. No fans, just felt a bit weird, and it just felt so secluded because it is a secluded place, and just felt like an event which shouldn't really have happened. So just a strange race, and that's where Penske's disaster really started happening when all their 3 cars qualified awfully. I think Power had a great drive to maybe 6th, and that was seen as a real success story as McLaughlin got hit at the start by Di Francesco in Di Francesco's phase of annoying everybody. Okay, the Grand Prix of Long Beach. How well do you remember the top
5? Not very well, apparently. So Kirkwood won.
Yes, he did.
From Palou.
Yep.
And Lundgaard was on the podium again.
Yep. After crashing qualifying.
Yeah, because that was his very, very impressive run in those early few rounds. Thereafter, it gets super blurry, to be quite honest. I don't have any. This was also in that phase where the race just wasn't that memorable at all because they weren't great races. I'll just go out on a limb and say O'Ward was 4th.
No, O'Ward was 13th. Rosenqvist was 4th, and Power was 5th.
Oh, I was actually going to say Rosenqvist for 5th as well. Okay. Not impressed with that showing, to be honest. That's disappointing.
Lap leaders, you have 6 of them.
6, wow. So Kirkwood?
Yep.
I'm guessing Palou?
No, he didn't.
Wow, okay.
He stayed the same strategy as Kirkwood all race. So Lundgaard led the second most because he was the lead guy of strategy. Rob led 12 laps because he was on an even different strategy to the laps.
The thing is, I knew Rob led laps as well. I just assumed that Palou would have led laps somehow because of Kirkwood pitting earlier or something. Oh, forgive me. This was in April. Was it April? It was April,
yes.
Wasn't it?
You're also missing Simpson, Dixon, and Armstrong.
Okay. I would have got Lundgaard and I would have got Rob. but probably wouldn't have got the others, to be fair.
Yeah, well, that teaches us a lesson. You can't risk it just because somebody finished well. I mean, that race was the one where it all went crazy on strategy really early on, and like it was like lap 2 or 3 people were pitting, which caused a chain reaction, which completely jumbled up the order. But Kirkwood really dominated that race from start to finish, and it kind of served as a reminder after a quiet but solid 2024 that he's got some impressive pace and really can be the figurehead of Andretti.
Yeah, I think that was everyone freaked out after St. Pete, and everyone just started pitting really early because of the whole kind of alternate fiascos. Yeah, I guess I remember it for Simpson and Rob both finished in the top 10, didn't they? Kind of remember it for that. Was it both first top? No, because Rob got the top 10, didn't he, on Gateway, was it the year before? So it wasn't made in top 10. But for Simpson, it was, right, at that point?
Yes, it was. Yes.
Yeah, so I mean, I think actually the defining thing for that weekend, aside from Kirkwood for me, was probably Lundgaard delivering on a street course after doing so well at Thermal, especially after the crash in qualifying. It was a very strong race. Okay, then, right, on to Barber for you, Dan. Top 5, please.
Hello, one.
Yeah, you're pulling a very I have no idea face.
Yeah, Lundgaard was second of Henley Compton. I think McLaughlin was third.
Yeah, that's correct.
After that, goodness knows. I think O'Ward did a good run.
So O'Ward fourth?
Do we have to get them in the order, or does it a fourth?
Yeah, I think you have to get them in the order. Yeah.
Oh gosh, I'm sure Power had a good run as well. I'm going to go O'Ward fourth.
No. Is that it? Is that are you eliminated?
That's it, yeah.
Rinus VK finished fourth.
Oh, of course he did, because he was on the back of McLaughlin at the end.
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
And then it was Will Power in fifth.
I was going to say Power fifth as well. I really forgot about VK when the start of the miraculous coin run.
Yep. 3 apiece. You only have 3 lap leaders again here.
Well, Pelé.
Obviously, yep.
Oh, I haven't got the foggiest here, but just going to...
You'll do well.
Okay, well, that hints me it's not...
You'll do very well to get this.
VK led one on strategy.
No. So Pelé led 81 of the 90 laps, and you had Marcus Armstrong led 6, and Scott McLaughlin led 3.
Armstrong is leading a lap at every race you've done pretty much so far. He's like this quietly sneaky answer, yeah.
This is the Armstrong ability.
Yeah. So, I mean, it wasn't a good one for me, which probably shows you how forgettable this race was, because this was in the period where we were begging out for caution after 3 races didn't have one, and it was once again a race Pelé kind of just dominated from the start, and we were like, oh my goodness me, how's anybody going to get the guy this season? And nobody did in the end, in the Honda. And yeah, he just dominated that race. He looked completely unstoppable. And that was pretty much my overarching memory, just how good Pelé was and how pretty poor the race was. And my goodness.
Yeah, I clearly you don't have a good memory of this, but my overarching memory is VK's drive from this one. 4th race for a Dale Coyne team that were ailing so much the year prior, and yeah, essentially is a lap off possibly finishing on the podium, out dueling the Penske of Scott McLaughlin, who won that race the 2 years prior. So that was quite the drive.
Okay, top 5 from the Indianapolis road course.
I mean, Pelé won.
Yes, he did.
Thereafter, it could have been anyone, really. O'Ward finished 2nd?
Yes, he did, yep.
Did Power finish 3rd?
Yes, he did. Yep.
Get in. God, I've pulled that from absolutely nowhere. Newgarden had a disaster. Lundgaard also had an uncharacteristically bad weekend. Rahal, I think, ended up finishing 6th. Rosenqvist 4th?
No, he was 10th. McLaughlin was 4th. He went off in the pit when he was running his 2nd.
Oh, yes. And
then Dixon was 5th.
Okay.
Lap leaders, there's 4 of them.
Okay, Pelé.
Yes.
Rahal.
Yes.
Have I got the 2 most laps led there?
Yes.
Okay. So it's going to be someone who was like on a funky strategy, I guess. Did McLaughlin lead one? I'm going to throw McLaughlin out there because I know
No.
there was a point where he was chasing. No, okay.
No, Devin DiFrancesco led one, and Marcus
Marcus
Armstrong.
Armstrong. Seriously, this is nuts. Oh my god.
I didn't realise he'd led that so many occasions across the course of the year.
Wow. Okay.
I mean, this race, all I remember was David Maluka stopping and everyone going absolutely bananas because we had a caution for the first time in about 4 races, which was a bit of a blessed relief.
Yeah, I remember. It's fair. I remember Graham Rahal kind of standing up to Alex Palou, and then obviously Palou kind of just was it one of those beatdowns he did on the was it on the primaries when it was just like it was not the favourite tyre, and he just absolutely dismantled everyone. Yeah. That was what I remember.
Cool. So we're going to do Indianapolis 500 qualifying, and I've got responsibility of naming the fast 12, just so we have 9 events apiece. So the fast 12. Am I doing this in order, or can we just bin off the order?
No, I think you should do it in order.
I was like, should we say top 5 in order, and after that?
Okay, that's fine.
The front row was obviously Schwartzman, Sato, and O'Ward. In the one of the strangest front rows I've ever seen.
Yes, you're correct.
Good. The second row, I'm pretty sure Palou and Dixon were there. Rosenqvist was there as well. I think Rosenqvist was 4th.
I'm afraid not. I'm afraid Rosenqvist was 5th. So I guess that's 3 for the top 5.
Was it Dixon 4?
Yeah, Dixon was 4th.
Okay, right. So at that point onwards, Palou was in there.
Yep. So these are essentially your lap leaders now. The remaining 7. Yes, Palou.
Ericsson,
yes.
Lundgaard,
yes.
What's going on with Penske for this?
Good question.
They made the fast 12, so
name the 13th and 14th. We'll take Penske out of the equation because that's too easy. It's too obvious.
McLaughlin obviously still made it.
Yes, so you're on 4 of the 7 now. So
there's one more who actually. Well, I'm pretty sure Daly was one of the ones promoted.
Daly was one of the ones promoted. Yes. So you've got one more who made it and one more who was promoted.
So I'm not going to say no, but I have a feeling Rossi might have been the other one who was promoted.
You're correct. Yes.
Okay, fine. Cool.
Yeah.
So the one person who actually did make it, I don't think it was a drive. It wasn't a drive, so it was at the back. It wasn't Kirkwood because we all thought he quickly actually was. Herter crashed, didn't he? So it wouldn't be Herter. I'm like missing a team here, and I can't work out what team it is, which is really winding me up. It's probably Santino Ferrucci, I guess.
It's David Malukas.
Oh yeah, of course it is. Oh, fine.
Yeah. 6 out of 7 though.
That's good going. So was that 3 and 6? That's not bad.
Yeah, not bad.
All right, to the 109th running of the Indianapolis 500. It was this year, so I guess this will probably have the most lap leaders. But we'll start off nice and easy with the updated top 5, the actual post-race top 5.
So it was Palou, Malukas, O'Ward. That actually no, I don't actually have that vivid a memory here. I was going to say Dixon, but that was the year before that he was. I mean, he was 3rd, wasn't he? Because of the whole Rossi having the mysterious thing that happened. But Dixon obviously had a great thing. Who finished 4th? Well, technically, he finished 5th. I don't know whether Ferrucci ended up being 4th or 5th. If he was either. Or I'm dreaming. No, they definitely got double top 5 in the end. Did they get double top 5 anyway? Am I completely wrong? Dan can't say anything. I might be thinking of completely the wrong race, but I think Ferrucci finished 5th in the updated.
Okay,
that's an answer. Well, but I can give it out of order.
No, you can't.
Oh, that's harsh. So that's annoying because Ferrucci definitely finished 5th as well. Who ended up being promoted to 4th? not going to be Simpson. Was it Rosenqvist? Rosenqvist.
Yeah, nice. It was.
Yes, Rosenqvist Ferrucci. 5 from 5. Let's go.
Lap leaders. There are 16 or something.
16 or something.
You've got a good chance. I've just kind of stopped counting after I got reached 10.
Okay, so Palou.
Yep.
I guess Ericsson still counts.
Yep.
Daly.
Yep.
Hunter Ray.
Yep.
Harvey.
Yep.
Takuma Sato.
Yes, he led the most.
Pato O'Ward.
Yeah, he led 2.
Okay, so on 7. Pato. Malukas.
Led 2.
Swear, are there any other big obvious ones? Did Newgarden actually lead any laps in the end? I'm not convinced he did.
I believe there's 6 more you need to get.
Di Francesco.
Yes, that's 17.
Yeah, anyone else? That's
5
Rob
left.
again? Rob.
No.
I'm thinking of it last year.
You're missing Rossi. You're
Okay,
missing Rasmussen.
Okay.
You're missing Schwartzman. Obviously.
Of course. Oh, that's stupid.
Kirkwood and Carpenter.
Okay, so I'm only really kicking myself with Schwartzman there. The others were kind of probably lucky draws, but how many was that in the end? 15, 16?
I've no idea. 16 or so 16.
You just read it.
Well, no, you can look manually count them out.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Because I got 9 out of. I'll try and
14,
figure out like a percentage.
14.
Or something.
It was 14 on there.
9 out of 14. Cool. So the percentage was better than I thought.
I mean, it was kind of how underwhelming the battle was for victory. Not through really anybody's fault, because that's, I mean, Louis Frost and Di Francesco can't do their job, but Ericsson's bottle was just, yeah, I mean, it was just a bad mistake to make, wasn't it? But Palou also fulfilling his destiny by winning the race in what had already looked like what was going to be a dominant season.
I don't want to say Palou's the overriding memory just because it's obvious. Obviously, Palou winning was super cool, and I think the celebration was awesome, and the whole thing was great. And it was just the crowning moment, or ended up being the crowning moment in what was an outrageous season. For me, I think Hunter Ray's heartbreak really sticks in my mind. How close that was to being an unbelievable fairy tale. I think also the fact that Daly was really competitive until late. Like, there were genuine points in that race where I thought that this was going to be hometown hero getting his first IndyCar win at the 500. But yeah, they're the first things that spring to mind for me. Obviously, through the event Schwartzman as well is one of the biggest stories we've seen in ever. Like, that was incredible. But yeah, it was a good May. Good May. On to now Detroit for you, Dan. So the top 5 on the streets of Detroit.
I genuinely remember nothing about this race. Like,
thing is, it's because it's such a come down. It's such a come down after the 500 that it's like just gets completely overshadowed.
I actually remember nothing about this race. I'm pretty sure Kirkwood won it.
Kirkwood did win it, yeah.
Okay, good. That's a blessed relief. No, I know he finished 5th, but that's not going to help much here. Was it? No, Ferrucci was on the podium. Was he 2nd or 3rd? I'm pretty sure he was 2nd, wasn't he?
He was.
Okay, cool.
Because we had the whole point stopped, but no position taken away from him.
How's had a good run? I can't remember to where. Oh, this is really going to bug me, you know.
I came into this thing; it was going to be way easier than it actually.
I'm pretty sure it's a combination of Herta, Power, and Simpson, but I don't really know the order they're in. Herta 3rd.
Correct.
Yes. Okay. I'm gonna have to say Power 4th in that case. So that's what he was, but
correct.
It was. Or was it Simpson 5th?
Yeah, bang on.
Oh, nice. I've got no idea how I did that. I remember nothing about this race. I'm very impressed with that.
Hey, it's in the back of our minds. You have a
Seemingly
lot
so.
of lap leaders here, by the way.
Do I?
You have, yeah, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 lap leaders.
Oh my gosh. Well, Kirkwood obviously.
So he led 48,
Herta had the pole, so he must have led a couple.
led 11.
Now, Ferrucci was on a stupid strategy. I can't remember if they got him into first or not, but I feel like it probably. Oh, did it? No. Dixon, I'm sure Dixon led a couple of laps, did he not?
He led a couple of laps. Yeah, he led 2. That's 3 of the 10.
Now, Ferrucci got into a position, but I can't remember if it was a position where he was going to win or not. Which makes things difficult. Did Paloli run at some point before he was punted?
Should have stuck to your convictions. Ferrucci led 8 laps. Paloli did not lead any.
Okay.
So that is a 3 out of
That's
10.
Who'd I miss?
So Kirkwood led 48. Rasmussen in car 21 led 21.
Did he? When?
He did. Yeah, he was having a good run. I think he hit the wall. He was on a very, very different strategy. The same strategy as Foster, who led a lap. Yeah, you had Ferrucci on 8. Obviously, Herta on 11, as we've said. O'Ward led 3, McLaughlin 3, Dixon 2, Rosenqvist 2, Power 1, and Foster 1. And I think my overriding memory is the massive crash between Foster and Rosenqvist when Foster's suspension failed. That was a massive shunt, really. And coming off the event where we had quite a lot of big crashes, that's the other thing, actually, India was kind of defined by quite a lot of airborne-ish crashes. And as you worded it, Rosenqvist ended up being stretchered off after that incident. I was glad that both of them were all right.
Yeah, my overarching memory is quite clearly not a lot, considering I remember very little about this race, quite seemingly. Classic Detroit carnage. Palou getting punted. I felt like a big moment, last chance for anybody to catch up in the title. I think it also had a big thing in my mind how Kirkwood got the better of Herta, even though it was Herta's pole, and it felt like Herta's race for a lot of it. It kind of, to me, signified a bit of a changing of the guard at Andretti of who might be the top dog. Right, I believe next is the Burrito 500, I believe.
It is.
So top 5 from Gateway.
It's going to be difficult. Kirkwood won.
Yep.
It's just a case of where did Palou finish? Because I know Rasmussen was 3rd. Was it Palou 2nd? I'm not convinced it was. I feel like this was another one where the Penske's had an absolute shocker. Oh, it's annoying because I know Rasmussen was 3rd, but the way we've decided to do the scoring means I can't just go out on a limb and say yes, it was definitely Palou. I'm trying to think back to whether I wrote anything. Was it O'Ward? It was a bit of a funky race. This. O'Ward.
What's that?
O'Ward.
Yes.
Yes. Rasmussen.
Yes.
I think Palou finished 5th, so there's someone in between them. Rosenqvist.
No, he finished 16th. Had to pit really late on because he.
Oh yes, that's right.
Strategy.
Yeah.
It was Dixon 4th and Ferrucci 5th.
It was Ferrucci 5th. Where did Palou finish 8th?
Yes, Palou finished 8th. You have a ridiculous amount of lap leaders. I count.
Not again.
14.
Wow. I actually don't know who got pole for this race, to be honest. Was it one of the Penske's? Well, it was obviously Kirkwood.
Yep.
Kirkwood Rosenqvist.
Yep.
Oh, who else was on Rosenqvist's strategy that was like, Ilott.
Yeah, nice shout, yep.
McLaughlin.
Yep.
Power.
No,
I thought of 3 Penske's because
so Power started on pole, but got overtaken by Malukas on the first lap.
Damn it. Because this was the one where it felt like all 3 Penske's should have won and something happened to all of them.
So
that's annoying.
You missed Dixon, Daly, who had the battle with O'Ward, Newgarden, who was dominating until his crash with Foster, O'Ward, obviously dual with Daly for a long time. Ferrucci led 8, Rossi led 2, Ericsson led 2, Rasmussen led 1, and VK led 1.
Oh, I bottled that with my overconfidence in the fact that all 3 Penske's led a lap.
Yeah, but that was like the ultimate Penske disaster, wasn't it? Because Power had a tyre go down when running around. McLaughlin had a mechanical failure, and Newgarden had that crash into Foster whilst going to the ad break in the States, which was a bit of a crazy one.
It's so annoying. Like when you say something, it all comes flooding back. I think the O'Ward daily battle probably was the defining thing, as well as Newgarden and Foster's big crash.
And Rasmussen's run to the podium as well.
Yeah,
because he was making some great moves at the end.
Was that the one? So. He was on fire, was it? That's the one where he was on, he had the fire and ended up on the podium. That was a really good race, actually. I really enjoyed that
race.
Yeah, that was probably battle of the season, I think, between those two. Well, definitely up there. That's kind of oval racing at its very best. Okay, that was disappointing. 4 from 14. Not happy with that. That's very poor memory. Right, Dan, you are on to Road America. I feel like this could be hard because I don't remember anything about this.
Plo won.
Plo obviously won, yeah.
Rosenqvist was second. It was his first podium with Shank. We were like, oh my goodness, how's it taking this long? And Ferrucci was third.
Yep. Chugged the beer.
Beer afterwards. Yeah. Afterwards, absolute long shot. Because this was the race where people were having really randomly good runs. Simpson had a good run, but could it might have been difficult. No, I don't think it was. Because this is the one with that really funky strategy you could go on, and people end up being really out of position results-wise. Siegel had a good run, but he wasn't top 5. It wasn't Dixon because of pit late on, which completely stuffed him. But Armstrong.
Kirkwood was 4th and Armstrong was 5th.
Shoot!
You're getting killed. You're getting killed by your own rules here, Dan. If you said if we could do it in any order.
Yeah.
Simpson was 6th. Siegel was 8th. Malukas between those two. Dixon ended up 9th, which was still a good run given he started 25th. Give me the lap leaders.
Plo and Dixon.
By the way, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 of them.
9.
Yes. Plo and Dixon are correct. Dixon led 27. Plo led 6.
Who started on pole for this race? Oh, it's just the one that Louis got pole.
That's why I was desperate to say overarching memory, because that is the overarching memory.
Okay, right. He must have had a lap.
Led 3 laps, yeah. So you're on 3.
I think he was overtaken by McLaughlin, if I remember correctly.
He led 8 laps.
So I'm on 4 out of 9.
Yes. Good luck.
What, from this point?
Yeah, you've got 4, 2, 2, 2, 1.
So it's just people and stupid strategies, isn't it? Siegel.
Unfortunately not.
I'll take a punt.
So it was Dixon 27, McLaughlin 8, Plo 6, Lundgaard 4, Foster 3, Rosenqvist 2, Stimpson 2, Malukas 2, and Kirkwood 1.
I was going to say Kirkwood. Okay, so I got what, 4?
4 out of 9. Yeah.
Well, Louis pole.
Yeah.
Pole.
Yeah, Louis pole. I mean, there's no other overarching memory. Ferrucci chugging a beer was cool, but no.
Yeah, this is kind of a race where this race always seems to get lost because it's just in the stretch of so many busy races.
And it's a shame because it's a cool track.
This was the one where Dixon was trying an outrageous strategy, and basically Plo kind of not lucked into it, but just seems to be the right place at the right time as he always was. Yeah. And this kind of felt like when the championship was definitely over by this point.
I think this was one of the car graveyards where everyone ran out of fuel at the checkered flag.
Yes.
Which is always quite funny. Right, anyway, Mid-Ohio. I didn't actually watch this race live because I was at the British Grand Prix, so I guess that's my biggest memory of the weekend. The podium was Dixon Plo. Obviously, Plo made his late error in the OpenAI car, wasn't it? The pretty sleek black one. I think I'll do well to remember who finished 3rd, to be honest, because it's hard when you don't actually watch the race. O'Ward?
No, it was Lundgaard.
Okay.
Herta was fourth.
Yeah, to be fair, yeah,
fifth.
I mean, Lungard had
Lap
such a good
leaders,
record.
you only have 4.
Pelot and Dixon.
Yes, they're top 2.
See, I don't have any recollection of how this race panned out, to be honest.
Oh, yeah, the other 2 are strategy.
Okay. Hail Mary, Armstrong.
No, it's Herta and Simpson.
Okay, was never getting that.
Yeah, I mean, again, this is one of the ones which kind of gets lost mid-season, but it was Pelot's mistake when it felt like he was big invincible, and suddenly he makes this major error to lose a race. And this was finally when we had the Kirkwood Pelot winning streak end as well, and we finally saw somebody else in victory lane in 2025.
I remember watching a very exciting end to qualifying where you had like Siegel was third, wasn't he? I think Simpson was up there. Foster was in the Fast Six again. I remember watching that going into some supermarket in opposite the Mercedes facility in Brackley. So that was my recollection of that weekend, and also following the race on live timing. So that was an interesting weekend. Yeah, on to Iowa, the opening Iowa race. So this is going to be really hard because they're both going to just merge into one here.
Yeah.
So I'm already dreading Iowa race 2. Iowa race 1, Dan. What the hell happened?
Yeah, so that was O'Ward, Newgarden, Power, McLaughlin.
Yeah, well done.
I don't know. I've got literally no idea. I was about to say Kirkwood, it wasn't because he crashed in Highline practice when he was running 4th. And
yes.
Qualifying time. I remember that, but not even finished 5th. Let's. Gosh, I'm going to go for a limb here. I don't think it was Malukas. I think he was lower than that. I'm going to go for Dixon.
It was Pelot. Pelot's always in the top 5.
Was it? Oops, that was easy.
Yep. You had probably a lot. Oh no, you only had 5 lap leaders here.
Award and Newgarden.
Yeah, Award led 33. Newgarden led 232.
This is what, a 260 lap race? Or 250 laps, and that's like
250, I believe. Oh, 275.
Oh gosh.
433.
I don't even know who got pole. The Newgarden got pole first, actually. Power
Led 3.
Oh, nice. And there's going to be somebody else on strategy. This is going to be a sniper. McLaughlin led 1, maybe.
No, Pelot led 4. And of course, Armstrong led 3.
Armstrong led some. Gosh.
3 from 5. And I will already say, I don't have any recollections of this race weekend because this was in a very, very busy period of the season. I don't really remember this race. I don't really remember the other one, to be honest, either. It wasn't.
Yeah, this was the one where Newgarden kind of got jumped in the pits, wasn't it, by Award later?
Yeah.
Yeah. Going to win.
Yeah, this was the weekend where it all this was just like when Newgarden actually had one of his better weekends of the season, yet it still felt like almost his worst because he was just getting caught by just about everything he could possibly be caught by.
Yeah, McLaughlin crashed in qualifying.
Yes,
which kind of really ruined his weekend, but had a good recovery race run to finish 4th. So, and then the grandstands were empty, and they made some t-shirts out of it, though.
Yeah, race 2 I remember being a bit better. I also don't remember how it ended. I think Pelot won.
Yes, he did.
I genuinely don't remember anything else about it. O'Ward probably finished 2nd.
No, Dixon finished 2nd. Armstrong was 3rd.
It was.
And O'Ward was 5th. This was the one with a really stupidly late caution, which really benefited Ganassi and screwed over.
Yeah, I do remember that now. But it's not just me who doesn't really remember much about this weekend. It feels like quite a forgettable double-header weekend.
It was a bit of a disaster, wasn't it? You only had 3 lap leaders in this one.
Only 3, wow. Obviously, Pelot.
Yeah.
Can you give me how many he led?
194.
I guess Newgarden led quite a lot as well.
Yeah, he led 72.
194, 72. It's going to be someone like Armstrong?
Kirkwood.
Okay.
Don't quite know how that happened.
I was hoping Armstrong maybe did some.
Yeah, I mean, this one we had quite a good battle between Malukas, Palou, and Newgarden for a while until we had that caution, which kind of robbed us of quite a good ending.
Yeah,
it's a bit of a shame. So that's pretty much a
Yeah,
depressing
actually,
memory of that race.
I remember Palou reflecting on this as like almost the oval race that. I mean, this was obviously his first short oval win, but which was it? Was it Milwaukee later in the season where he was absolutely phenomenal?
Yes. Yeah.
That was kind of, and he had the win taken away from him there, so it kind of almost evened itself out a bit.
Yeah, good point.
Yeah, don't recall much about that weekend, I'm afraid. Right, Dan. Next up for you is Toronto.
Right, top 5 you want. Award 1.
Yep.
VK was 2nd and Simpson was 3rd.
Yep.
Herta was 4th.
Yep.
And
you didn't remember anything.
Well, I remember Herta being 4th because I did a whole piece about the playoffs for this. And 5th. It wasn't Rosenqvist because he crashed with Siegel later on, which brought out the caution, which kind of ended the race.
Yeah.
It wasn't Armstrong because this was the opposite of the Armstrong ability, where he was having a really good weekend and then best up in the pits because he hit Kirkwood, I think.
Qualified 3rd.
This was Ericsson.
Yep, because Andretti were 4, 5, and 6.
Yeah, I'm proud of that. That was a good snipe. Right, lap leaders.
Lap leaders, you have 5.
Award.
Led 30.
Herta.
Led 6.
He was on pole. Palou led some, I think, at some point.
Led 37.
Yeah, nice. Well, yeah, he led a few, didn't he? Now, VK and Simpson were on the stupid strategy at the start, which proved to be miraculous. Now, did one of them lead? I don't know. But I'm just going to say VK led a lap somewhere.
Led 16.
16, wow.
16!
Then for me, it's a toss-up between Simpson and Kirkwood at this point. How many laps did this person lead? One I'm missing?
1.
Simpson.
Ericsson. It wasn't either of the two that you...
I feel a bit better then about that then.
Yeah, I think my overriding memory is just the 2 unlikely podiums. I think especially I mean, it's fair, both of them, but I think the VK story, because he was especially competitive at points, that like he could possibly even win the race. And also, I just remember some absolutely psycho driving in the mid-pack.
Lundgaard was one.
Lundgaard just was very un-Lundgaard.
Somebody punted Rasmussen him up in power.
I think it was power, yeah.
And then I think got stuff for once in this race.
Yeah, he did indeed.
And Award had a really good drive from the mid-pack.
It was a real strategic game where you thought that VK and Simpson had done something completely mindless and actually ended up being pretty clever. So yeah, that was Toronto. On to Laguna Seca actually this time.
Round 14.
Well, I can give you the start of the podium. Palou and Lundgaard had the terrible practice session, qualified 7th, and actually ended up finishing 2nd. And I think Herta was 3rd.
Yep.
And it gets pretty blurry from here, to be fair. Rosenqvist? No, not Rosenqvist because he crashed. And to be fair, that was one where he crashed really heavily and then he actually somehow kept going. Last minute save, clearance off the line. I'm trying to remember who did Herta really force for the overtake, or was it Lundgaard really forced for the overtaking Herta? I'm pretty stumped here, to be fair. Ward.
Yeah, it was.
It was. Brilliant, amazing.
What, save again for 5th?
Dixon. Yes. Get in there.
Nice. You have 2 lap leaders, by the way.
It must have been one of those where it's just completely subconscious back of my mind. 2 lap leaders. Palou. How many did Palou lead?
84.
Of a 90 lap race.
95.
95, okay. He was on pole. This would have been some funky strategy thing. I'd just say Dixon.
No, Siegel.
Oh, yeah, because Palou overtook Siegel, didn't he?
Yes.
Okay. 1 out of 2.
Yeah, I don't really remember a lot about this race. Lundgaard and Herta had a good battle when Lundgaard sent it into the final corner, but otherwise, Palou just dominated this one. And
Yeah,
Fox had really
yeah.
tried to push a championship battle, which Palou had already won, and solidified it even further by winning Laguna Seca. So
yeah, I mean, this was just defined by the fact that Palou's an absolute freak around that track. I
Yeah.
mean, astonishing, really. Right, Dan, on to Portland. Yeah.
Gosh.
But this is
Power one.
we're into the more recent ones, and I'm struggling.
Your memory always, for some reason, when it comes to your memory's always better right at the start. I mean, Power obviously won. Second was Lundgaard, and third was Palou.
Yeah, well remembered. I think I've probably got that.
Fourth and fifth is always a bit more of a struggle. No, this wasn't when Newgarden had a clean run because he got hit by Dixon coming out the pits.
He did indeed.
Yada yada yada. Gosh, this is the one where Rasmussen and Daly had some pretty unnecessary collisions. This was the one where Malukas got lapped by Power, so it wasn't him. Ericsson also got lapped, so it wasn't him. Ward had that mechanical failure when he was leading, so it wasn't him. Dixon also got penalised for Newgarden crash, it wasn't him. If I go through one by one, I'll eventually eliminate the entire field and be left with the person it actually was. It's probably an Andretti. I'd go for Kirkwood.
No, it was Graham Rahal and Alexander Rossi.
Wow, I was not getting that.
No, I would not have got that either. So you are all good. Lap leaders, you had 5 of them.
Well, Power and O'Ward.
Power led 78 and O'Ward 15.
Lundgaard.
Nope. Graham Rahal led 10. Palou led 5. And Newgarden led 2. This weekend, yeah, there was a few bits and bobs. I remember this was
our winning, really, wasn't it?
Possibly Lundgaard's best weekend for it was his best weekend this season. Maybe his best weekend.
He should have won if he
got
got penalty qualifying.
Yeah,
yeah.
I mean, it was a very good pole. And he was kind of held his own against Palou, and that was a very good drive. I think Power winning was obviously a big story, and I think it was actually after this weekend, wasn't it, that it all decided, came apart and wasn't going to return to Penske. Palou lapping Malukas. Yeah, that's a good point, actually. Palou lapping Malukas, no. Power lapping Malukas was quite a story. I think the Daly's crash was massive, the whole Rasmussen thing. So, yeah, a few bits and bobs going on. I'll do a scores on the doors because we're going into the final round here. So, right, scores on the doors. Lap leaders is going to be pretty hard, but top 5 going into the final round. Dan is leading 31-26. So I think we should just do double points to make it interesting.
Yeah, go.
So it's not a dead rubber.
Yeah, go.
Yeah, we'll do double points. Lap leaders is going to be quite hard because, I mean, I've had 2 races where there's been 14 lap leaders. So, yeah. But, yeah, final round anyway. What's my race? Milwaukee.
I've got Nashville.
Okay, so Rasmussen won.
Yes, he did.
From Alex Palou.
Yes.
I need to get this, otherwise I'm eliminated. McLaughlin.
Yes, there was. Yeah.
Power had a problem here, I think. O'Ward.
No, he was 5th. Rossi was 4th.
Oh yeah, because they had a really good day. Okay, so I get 3 times 2, so I get 6. So I end up
not bother with double points, but just remove the double points because I'd know that when you're on Nashville.
No, I you might get it wrong. You might remember wrong. I'm on 32, so I lead you 32-31 going into your final one. Pressure on Dan.
Lap leaders, there are 6 of them.
Okay, Rasmussen, Palou.
Yep.
How many did each of those lead?
So 199 for Palou, 16 for Rasmussen.
Okay, so we've still got quite a lot in hand. Or a bit in hand. McLaughlin?
No. Malukas.
Okay.
Armstrong, obviously. He was on the stupid strategy that race, so he led one of the restarts.
Yeah.
Foster and Rosenqvist.
So 2 out of 6, that's not great.
Yeah, I mean, this race is easily rememberable for Rasmussen's just that phantom rain and then the
Yeah, bizarre
there.
rain. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
to be fair, like I know it was on fresher tires, whatever, and Pillow was probably the driver of the race, but nobody else made it work like Rasmussen did, and that was pretty special to watch. I think. Again, it's always nice to have a first time winner as well, and felt like he deserved it off the basis of his overall performances. Right, Dan, Nashville, pressure on. You get half points for this round. I get double, you get half.
Well, New Garden won ahead
Yep.
of Pillow, and then McLaughlin, and then Simpson, and I think fifth was Connor Daly.
Yep. So you
2.5
get
points.
you get 2.5 points for that. Yeah, so you got 2.5 for that. So that means you win by by 31.5 to 32. 33.5 to 32. Sorry.
Okay, thank you.
What a victory. No, if we were to do that properly, Dan, you would have won 36-29. So pretty comfortable, to be fair. Lap leaders, let me get it up. You had good luck. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 lap leaders.
Well, Award led the most, I presume, and then
Award 116. You got him 60.
And then Pillow.
Below 11.
And then after this, it is literally anybody's game, and I'm going to guess, and I'm probably going to guess it wrong. McLaughlin had a battle with Newgarden for the lead for a while, so I'll say McLaughlin.
7.
Now, Malukas was in the mix, but I can't really got taken up by Foster. But I'm not sure he led a lap because it's still early on. No, I think he might say that a lap longer strategy actually. It's Malukas.
1.
She did lead out a lap longer strategy. Good. So I got 5. Armstrong.
Led 1.
Good.
6 from 12. 50%.
Herta was running well at points. I'll say Herta.
By 3.
Oh, nice.
7 from 12. This is going really well.
Lundgaard was running well at points. But not well enough.
Unfortunately not. So that's 7 out of 12. That's
not
respectable.
Bad. That's not bad.
What do you remember from this weekend?
Newgarden breaking his drought, finally. It was a very great, fun race. We had some great battles. McLaughlin, Simpson, Polono, War for the lead.
Yeah,
Newgarden. There were plenty of great battles up and down the field. It was a really, really good race. Just a shame there wasn't as much on the line as there could have been.
I remember hoping it was really crap so we didn't miss it as much, but it was a really good race.
It was a very, very good race.
Yeah, I think Newgarden and the whole pigs thing, that never made much sense to me, but that was always kind of something I remember it for. Newgarden breaking his duck was significant. I will tally up the lap leaders. It could be quite unrepresentative, but let's have a look. So somehow, with lap leaders, if you count Dan's kind of bottom 7 of the Fast 12 Indy 500, we actually both had technically 60 lap leaders, which was completely coincidental and has worked out incredibly well. And Dan beats me again, 33-28. So you've beaten me 36-29 and 33-28. So
50% is good.
Yeah, you've done well there. You've beaten me by a cumulative 12 points, which is a bit of a rout, to be honest.
Yeah. I mean, that's it for this weekend. Sorry we couldn't do anything a bit more exciting. Just we wanted to get something out. I know we do this every year, and when we do this episode, that usually is a bit of a hint we are very much in the depths of off-season, which we are this week. But we do have a little bit of a more clear focus. I mean, pretty much all the way until early next year. Now, just as a pre-warning, next week's episode will be late again, because I'm not back into the UK until Wednesday, hence we won't be recording until then. But otherwise, yeah, Counter's getting a lot smaller now as we say closer to St. Pete than we are to Nashville. Less than 3 months now. What's it looking at?
As we record on Wednesday night, actually I'm now on Thursday. So from 1 a.m. on Thursday UK time, we are 78 days away from track action starting in St. Pete. So getting quite quick. if this comes out on Friday, it's going to be 77. So the later it comes out, the closer we are to St. Pete. Let's put it that way. There's a positive. Yeah, we're getting there quite quickly.
Great.
Quite alarmingly quickly.
Good.
Alarmingly.
Oh,
in a
is it
nice
here?
way.
This is good. This is good.
Yeah.
Stalecoin, you've got 77 days left. You referred to earlier on this episode, but no, really appreciate you all listening. And yeah, hopefully next week's something a bit more exciting. So being a little bit late, which should be good fun. But for this time, thanks very much for watching. Thanks very much for listening, and we'll see you next time.